Hi, my name's Amanda Gustafson, and
Pam Sear.
we're from the Shelburne Community School. We came last year to this institute, and I think in the parking lot, I was nominated to be the garden coordinator, and not told until later. So we started the fall with a pretty full garden. Our after-school program took care of our gardens over the summer last year. And you can see in that picture on the far left, we kind of had a kale garden. We had some seating issues with the classrooms in the spring, and so we just decided to make lemonade in the form of, you can see the kale pesto, the giant pan there. The kitchen staff did a great job processing all that kale into kale pesto. We had a community harvest dinner where we fed over 100 people, and it was all staffed by the after-school kids. They also took carrots out of the garden and peppers, and that was a great event. Through the winter, you can go to the next slide. Oh, actually, go back to that slide. So one thing I want you to take note of is I'm a teacher, Pam's a teacher, and one of the things that I thought of as I looked at the garden last fall was I would be stressed out bringing a class in there because there was a lot going on, hard to know where beds started and finished. The organization was, yes. So one of the things that we really focused on was how can we make this inviting for teachers, because we knew that if teachers were not sure how it would work with their kids in there, they might not take the time that's required to make units and lessons that are in the garden. So you can go to the next one now. We worked with the cafeteria staff as well. This is Becky, our fearless cafeteria leader, and she made a lot of different pickles, and there were some pickle taste tests last year. Next slide. So when the spring came, we had seating happening with after school. A first grade classroom installed a grow light in their closet and started our tomatoes. And we totally redesigned and rebuilt the garden beds. You can see the design a little bit in that picture on the left. We have this sustainable roofing material. It's made of recycled material. We used cedar on any part that was touching soil, and then just cheap pine on any part that was up in the air to kind of keep the costs down. And the beds came out to be like $120 each or something like that, which was good cost, I think. You can go to the next one. So you can see this is a before and after of what we did this year. The beds on the left are organized so that they're easily counted. So we can say to a teacher, okay, your bed 4 or your bed 6, and putting numbers on these beds is kind of the next piece. This isn't a completed picture. Right now, there's 2 of those tall beds, and those tall beds are so that if we have any disabled students or students in wheelchairs, they can be wheeled right up to the gardens and still participate in any kind of gardening program that a classroom does. So that was an important thing for me. So Pam, do you want to talk about your classroom connection?
So what you can't see is we have one more garden on the other side of the school, which we've created. This, first of all, is a salsa garden and pickles, because our cafeteria person, Becky, said that's what she could handle and she needed. So Amanda said, great, it'll be a salsa garden. I, with the help of my students, my 4th and 5th graders, and Fred Wiseman of the Abenaki Association, we created an Abenaki teaching garden, which you can't see, with heritage crop seeds. And it's real. It's a scientific investigation. There's one seed that we only have, it's a squash. And it's been cross-pollinated with Blue Hubbard, and so we have to clean up the seeds and then give those seeds back to the Abenaki people. That'll be probably a 10-year job, but we'll see what happens. So they're all heritage seeds, and my hope is that these will be place-based learning environments. We're integrating the new next-gen science standards, and we have decided to do Earth Systems first at Shelburne Community School, K-8, so this is a perfect opportunity. And it gives teachers permission to take their kids outside. So I'm excited about that.
Great. And in the spring, we did get 4 different classrooms to come in the garden. The kids did all the planting. And it was a really great moment for me I had kindergartners and first graders out there. And I'm primarily a teacher of older students. And it was great to be out there and be able to say, you know, all right, just you're here, you're in this one right here. And they weren't stepping on stuff. And it's an important feature, I think, of a garden that it has some integrity so that when you have teachers sharing garden space, they know that the space that they're using is going to look the way they left it. So that was a really nice thing. And the kids loved being able to, they came in, they immediately sat down in there. And since the gardens have been built, the kids have been sitting in there, and they all got up and walk around the edges, and it's just great. So moving forward, yeah, go ahead. You know, one of the challenges has been getting parent volunteers and sort of teacher buy-in. So we really focused this year on infrastructure so that the teachers had like, okay, so here's a classroom. Now you can see it. Yes. So now they can see that potential garden classroom, but we still need to get more buy-in. We need parent volunteers. So we've created a survey, and we got 17 responses. How have you integrated the gardens into your classes in the past? Do you have regular volunteers in your class that would be able to help students work in the garden? And do you have a big vision for garden-led initiatives? So we got really good feedback. Everyone who answered these questions gave us feedback. And this, to me, was a really important question, which was, you know, how interested are you in the gardens? And remember, the gardens are not a place only to learn about growing plants, but also food security, plant and soil science, engineering, design, pattern, history, math and data collection. And everyone who answered gave specific feedback, like, I've taken my kids out there for painting studies every spring, or I'm connecting it to my history curriculum. So I think we've really raised awareness, and I'm hoping we can continue to support the teachers at the school. And I just want to give a shout out to Jen, our parent volunteer, who came with her family and really put in the time to help us get this job done. So thank you. And Emily, who's going to take care of our gardens this summer from CVU.
So we have time for questions.
Just Emily? You have just one person taking care of the gardens this summer?
Well, I live close by as well.
Gotcha.
So, but we won't harvest the Abenaki garden until September and October.
Yeah, and the Part 2 program has, gosh, like 100 kids in it, and they have a garden club that's there 5 days a week. So they'll be working in the gardens all summer too.
Question back.
Just sharing an idea that we put in some benches in our garden, and it really, the teachers really enjoyed that, being able to at least have the kids sit down while they explain what's going on, or sometimes they're just sitting down there writing or reading or something like that in the garden. They're just log rounds, turned sideways with a piece of wood cloth, and then screwed in. It was very simple, and I think the teachers really enjoyed that for the classroom aspect.
Thank you.
That's great, thank you.
Great, thanks everyone.